Yeah.
Like, the cool thing about nursing that a lot of people don't know is that there's...
So guys, are you curious what nursing is really like? Or are you curious to see if nursing is actually worth it? In today's video, I interview my really great friend, ATL. She's actually gone through nursing school and has done a lot in nursing. She's gotten a master's in nursing teaching certificate or something like that. And we really break down her experience in nursing. So if you guys are kind of curious about nursing, definitely watch this video. I think she has a very bubbly personality and it will help you really figure out whether nursing is for you or not. I'll leave all her links below if you want to follow her as well. And if you like videos like these, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I just give the realest life advice that I can possibly give, and I just introduce really cool people in my life. And make sure to watch this video in its entirety, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye. By the way, you can tell that this video is quite old since I still had hair in my video and I don't have hair no more.
What up, guys? It's your boy Kevin E, the PharmD, aka Kevin the Refugee. I have my girl ATL.
Hi!
She is not only a nursing student, or actually in grad school for nursing, but she's also running her own blog too, which is pretty cool. Anyways, the reason why I wanted her on my podcast was just because, you know, I've always wanted to do a nursing video, but I had no one to do it with, and I think you were the perfect person, man.
Oh, thank you so much, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Super excited to be here.
So let me ask you, like, what got you into nursing?
Well, to be honest, so as an Asian growing up here in America, I think a lot of our parents want us to succeed, right? And so they ingrain it in your head, oh, you should go to medical school, you should go to pharmacy or to law school or whatever. And so I think I always had it in the back of my mind, you know? And so then in high school, I actually volunteered with a bunch of friends at a hospital. And then I was like, oh, this is awesome. You know, we got to hang out with all the nurses. And I was like, you know, I think I really want to go into nursing. But then what happened was at the same time I was teaching. I was like a teaching assistant at Sunday school.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out with a bunch of like kindergartners and I loved it. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's what I want to do. And so I was like,
what is it about working with like kindergartners and stuff?
I don't know. They're so enthusiastic about life. They like listen to you. You feel so powerful. I don't know. So yeah, I ended up wanting to go into teaching.
Yeah.
Instead, when I got into my undergrad as a freshman. But then once I decided on teaching, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to teach? I have no idea. So then that's when I decided on nursing.
Like it was partly your parents and partly you wanted something to teach. That's why you fell into nursing, right?
Absolutely. And then eventually, that was sort of my end goal with nursing.
Yeah.
Like the cool thing about nursing that a lot of people don't know is that there's so many things that you can do with it. You can go into politics, teaching, academia, law. I mean, there's so many things. So
it's very similar actually with pharmacy too. People don't realize all the career opportunities that you have. Most people imagine people that are just behind the counter, people like me, by the way, but there's so many things that you can go into, like law and all these other things as well. What was the reason you went into grad school then?
Well, okay, so you know how I always had that in the back of my mind, teaching, and that was sort of, like I said, the end goal with my nursing career. So growing up, my parents are like super traditional Vietnamese people, and I was never able to live on campus. I was never able to study abroad, and like at the rate I was going, it looked like I was going from my parents' house into my husband's house.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's just not the way I want to live life, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
And so I was like, you know what? I think grad school is like my scapegoat. Like I just felt like grad school was a way out of the house. And I knew that if I stayed in Minnesota, which is where I'm from, I would never get out of my parents' house. And so I applied to Cal State Fullerton and got accepted. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to live in California. And it was the way I got out of my parents' house.
So your motivation for going grad school was just leaving your parents?
Well, I mean,
no, just kidding.
Being independent and eventually pursuing my career goal.
You know what I really respect about that story is you just took the leap of faith and just let all this good luck happen to you. And that's actually how we met.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, this guy's from Boston. I would never have met you.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's pretty crazy how like one decision in your life can impact your whole life. you know?
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know. And if y'all don't remember, I did a short vlog with ATL actually. Earlier you were just saying like, you know, you kind of get self-conscious when you're vlogging and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you remember that? That was a long time ago.
That was at a conference. That was Apex's professional development
like
conference.
summit. Yeah.
Summit.
Yeah. It was like some sort of summit.
It was so impromptu. It got me really excited. You know, after that vlog we shot just randomly, it got me really inspired.
I always encourage people to just like start up a blog, start up a YouTube channel, start up something and just start creating. Did you ever get to practice as like a RN and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about that. How was that?
Kind of funny because when I graduated from my undergrad in 2012 and I actually failed my boards the first time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because I didn't take it really seriously because I was like, oh, well, this isn't what I, totally want to do, and my mom was like, oh my gosh, you went to, 4 years of school and you're just going to throw it down the drain. You need to take it seriously. And so I was like, okay, fine. So then I ended up, studying the second time and I passed and got a job at the University of Minnesota Children's Hospital on their peds bone marrow transplant floor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's like very, very like specific.
It was really intense, but I loved it. I loved it, but also it was like really heartbreaking, because like you really get to know the families and the kids because the kids are there like for months at a time, because their immune system, we basically just shoot them down with nothing to have. And then so, yeah, you really get to develop that relationship with your patients and their families, which is really cool.
Yeah. What was the most memorable experience you had?
So we had a lot of patients who came to the University of Minnesota to get this like trial chemotherapy type of treatment or whatever. And so this patient was from the United States, but he was, I don't remember where, but somewhere from the South. And he had a really rare type of like blood disorder. Mm-hmm. He got the bone marrow transplant and it looked like it was sticking, in the first few days after his transplant. But then soon after, he went downhill really fast. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's just horrible to see it. And like you see them at their best and then you also see them at their worst. And so this guy, you'd always come in and he was always in such a great mood. Like even when he was exhausted and tired and stuff, he ended up going to the ICU, the PICU, mm-hmm. and shortly after passed.
Oh,
but shit. I remember we all went down and said goodbye, and it's rough, but those are the types of experiences that you remember the most, because it's like, I don't know, like it just really tugs at your heartstrings, And
I'm sure like you caring so much about their kid and stuff is,
their well-being and
it means the world to them. I'll tell you this, like when my father died, like there were great nurses there's great doctors who actually gave a shit, and mm-hmm. as a patient that's all you really want, somebody to care and know that they're in good hands. Mm-hmm. How about unexpected things as a nurse?
Okay, what's crazy is like in nursing school I was really interested in pediatrics and like women's health.
I see that.
But now working in pediatrics, I would never go back.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you expect?
I don't know. I just expected like being around all these wonderful children, hanging out and having a blast. Kind of like, in Sunday school with my kindergartners, it really wasn't like that. They hate you.
Really?
Yeah, you're like the mean one that goes in and gives them their shots and yeah. I mean, there's some where like you really develop that relationship with them, so they like you. But like for the most part, it's like it's tough.
Yeah.
You like children and you want them to like you back, and sometimes you don't get that.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into the fun part. Okay. So this is the reality versus expectations part, where ATL is going to talk about 5 things that she expected grad school to be like and what it was actually like. Mm-hmm. So do you want to name the first one? So
number 1, we wrote this down because I have a horrible memory. Grad school is nothing like undergrad. So you know how like when you're in undergrad.
Wait, was it grad school is like nothing like undergrad, or you thought?
I don't know. What's crazy
so
is like,
what did you expect like initially?
Well, I really thought that I would have this sense of community.
Uh-huh.
Like, I would love going to campus. I'd stay on campus
Yeah.
for late hours, late at night, hanging out. There's none of that. Like, you literally just like go to campus, go to your class, and then go home, you know?
There's like no campus events, campus pride, or anything like that.
I mean, there is, but I think they're mostly targeted towards like undergraduate students.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. But I figure most people like our age probably have families and stuff.
That's
and
true.
just want to get in and get the fuck out.
Exactly. It's true. It's basically like that. So I was a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh yes, it's gonna be like college all over again.
Yeah.
But it really isn't
Yeah.
at all. But you know, in some ways it's better.
How so?
You know, I think now it's like you have money, like you have, because you're balancing all these other things, like you said. Like a lot of us have families, we have full-time jobs. It's like you're balancing this whole lifestyle, and I think it's fun to be able to manage all these little pieces.
So here's my experience at farm school when I went to a grad school type of program.
Yeah.
One thing for me was that I just met more serious people who are actually like really committed. Because like think about undergrad. You're probably like 18 years old. You just like hit puberty just a few years ago. People don't know what they want. They just listen to their parents and to tell them going to like pharmacy or nursing. But at our age, like as you get into your mid-20s and stuff like that, like you're a lot more serious about your career, about the things you want to do in life. You know?
Definitely.
So.
That's very true.
So, what's number 2?
Numero dos.
Yeah.
Now I have to look at my notes again. So, number 2, I really thought that we would have a ton of tests. Like, I thought it would be just like constantly test taking, but surprisingly, it's not. It's a lot of like creation and development, you know, like you have a lot of papers for sure, which I like, you know, because I like writing. And then there's a lot of projects, group projects. So it's like, it's kind of cool because like in class right now, so I'm in the nurse educator program. And we're learning about like the levels of learning and development and stuff, you know, and basically
what exactly is like a nurse educating like program?
So like what do we do, or like
yeah, what is the like, why would somebody want to
be a
do
nurse?
do this like program, and what do you guys do?
Got it. There are 2 things essentially that you could do with the nurse education degree. It's basically your master's, you know, your MSN, your master's in Master of Science in Nursing. And there are a lot of different specialties. You know, there's the nurse educator track, there's the midwifery track, there's the leadership track if you want to go into administration. So with nurse education specifically, you can do academia, so you can teach. And for nursing, you have to have a degree above the students that you're teaching. So as a BSN, you can teach your ADNs. As a master's, you can teach bachelor level students. And then on the other side, you can do staff development. So you can work in the hospital and focus on like staff education.
Ah, gotcha. That's pretty cool then.
Yeah.
It's like a blend of nursing and education. That's awesome. That's exactly what you wanted.
I know, right? Yeah, so it's perfect. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
But now, you know what's crazy is when I first went into it, I really thought I was going to work with students, but now I don't want to. It's too much work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. They work so hard. You know, I see our professors just constantly emailing late at night, and it's like, man, it's crazy. I was working on my project, and my professor literally emailed me the day, it was like New Year's Day or something, or New Year's Eve, which is crazy to think about because that means she was working through the holiday.
That means like, dude, how sad is that? Well, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe she really loves her students.
Exactly. I think she does love it because I was like so shocked to see that. I was like, you're doing work during Christmas?
She's like sitting on her couch watching the ball like drop by herself.
Bam,
man,
emailed.
That's hella sad, man.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, you're saying like
So yeah,
a lot of exams and tests.
Yeah. So I thought that it was going to be a lot of exams and tests, but surprisingly, we haven't taken a ton. It's a lot of development, you know. So it's like you said, Kevin, kind of like we are allowed to use that left side of our brain, the creativity part of it, which is really cool. And what's even cooler about it is that it's totally applicable to what you're doing right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if there's not a lot of tests, you were talking about, there's like papers and stuff like that, but is it more basically hands-on type of stuff, hands-on type of learning basically?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we learn a lot about like the adult learning theory, for example. You know, we're all adults, and what's cool about adults learning is that everyone brings something to the table, you know? So I think it's cool that like our teachers are able to learn from us as well. You know?
That's
Did
cool.
Did I answer your question? I'm sorry.
No, this is your reality versus expectations, man. So it's whatever you say. Okay, number 3.
3. I thought it was gonna be really hard.
Yeah, what made you think it would be so hard?
Because it's grad school, you know? Like I always thought, oh man, grad school, this like cornerstone, like you know? And I had heard like horror stories from friends and stuff saying like, oh, grad school is just so much work and stuff. And it definitely is. But the cool part about it is that it's really fun. You know? Like I said, you can apply it right away.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
What sort of things have you been able to like apply right away?
Like a lot of the theories that we learn about, like holy crap, that makes so much more sense now, you know?
Like what's one theory?
So I kind of mentioned the adult learning theory, right? Now, like I always valued people's opinions and stories and stuff, and now I totally understand it, like thinking about it through the adult learning theory framework, that all adults are ready to learn, they're motivated to learn, they are curious about learning and learning from each other too, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. Like you can just see it even in like their conversations.
So are you like psychoanalyzing people? As
Kind
you're
of,
talking about?
yeah. Legit.
Yeah. It's funny. You know what's really funny for me? Like I still have my social psychology textbook, even though it's hella dated now.
Dude.
But when I'm in the pharmacy sometimes, I'll be like thinking about certain things we learn, you know, like how to influence behavior, attitude, like that triangle thing. So yeah, it's the most random things, but that's pretty funny for you to hear that from you.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's cool that you get to do that, you know?
Number 4. What's number 4?
Numero cuatro is, well, we kind of talked about it. So number 3 was that it was really fun. Number 4, I said it was applicable. Sorry.
When you're saying applicable, right? We talked a little bit about that, but I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, that was my fault. No, but okay. Going back to number 3, being really fun, right?
Hard.
Hard.
Fun.
Yeah.
Wait, you thought it would be hard?
But it's actually really fun.
Yeah.
I think what's made it the most fun is because I've made like really great friends through it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Hold on for a second.
pause. Technical difficulties. You know what's cool is that I've made some really great friends through the program.
Oh, tell me about the type of friends that you have, or the type of people you met through the program.
Yeah. So like you said, a lot of them have families for sure. A lot of them are married. Some of them are kind of like me, you know, single. I mean, I'm not like single. Single by law I am, you know, but a lot of them are like
Dude,
me.
you're gonna get married soon.
I know, right? August. The one that I've gotten the closest with is very similar to me, like our backgrounds. You know, we're literally getting married the same day.
What?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I was actually I was excited for her, but then I was like bummed realizing it was on the same day, because you know that means we can't go to each other's weddings.
No, you just do a 2-for-1 deal. Yo, just go to a wedding venue and be like, yo, 2-for-1, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're thinking about like Skyping each other during the wedding and just be like, hey, what's up?
Dude, you're not gonna have enough time for that. You know, weddings are really like stressful for people. Oh my god, I see people all the time, man.
Yeah, it's true. We actually, my fiance and I, Juan, we were both in a wedding this weekend.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly really awesome. Like not that stressful, surprisingly. But then again, like the couple is very chill. They're very lax about a lot of things. So it's just more like flow. But yeah, I just really hope I have a day like that where I literally am stress free. Legit. Like that is my goal in life.
Dude, it's never gonna happen like that, man.
I know.
It's just like, yo, that's part of the good thing about life, you know? Like, so if you didn't push yourself to go to grad school, you would never got to like experience all these things.
That's
you know?
true.
Like dude, stress is a great thing, man.
It is.
Yeah. But anyways, so
It really defines you, I feel like.
for sure it does, you
Mhm.
know? Like,
Hardship.
yeah, even like right now as I'm eating a massive D in life,
Oh,
but
stop. What? No.
I feel like I'm eating a D in life, but
Not at all.
yeah. But anyways, let's see. Number 5. What's number 5?
Before we go into 5, I want to go back to you.
Why back to me, man?
Because I don't want you to think that you're eating a D or whatever in
I'm
life.
eating major shit in life right now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But I have to say, by
Mhm.
eating major shit in life, it's actually pushed me to move 10x toward fucking Grant Cardone. It's made me move 10x toward my goals and do what I really want.
See,
you know?
and that was the exact thing that you needed during this time of your life.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
I think years from now, when Kevin is like the super famous billionaire, like selling his awesome product and stuff, you're gonna look back on this and be like, yo, I was at the lowest of lows, but here I am now, bitch, move, get out the way.
I ain't eating shit no more.
Kidding.
Yeah, man. But that's cool. So you met really
Awesome people.
awesome people.
And make those connections because they're gonna help you out later down the road for sure.
Let me ask you, how different was it from the people that you met in undergrad?
I think nowadays, like you mentioned, they're much more mature. They know exactly what they want in life.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's the kind of energy that you want to be around, people who know what they want and are pursuing what they want.
Yeah. Is there a lot of drama at your school too?
No.
No drama?
No, legit. Well, I mean, there is, but
Yeah.
it's not like crazy stuff, And plus, we only have class one day a week on campus. Like this semester, though, we don't have any classes on campus except for the first and the last day because it's all clinical. So we don't really see each other, unfortunately.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5.
Numero 5. Oh yeah. Well, that was
What a great segue.
I know. It was supposed to be that way.
So funny.
That is funny.
What was it? Read out your number 5.
I really thought that the class would be like la da da, but we're actually very close.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we have a group chat. There's literally like 12 of us in the group, and we're very supportive of each other. So it's like, if we want a deadline, if like one of us is like, oh, I feel like I need a deadline on this project or whatever, one will be like, oh yeah, I think that's a good idea, and then another person will go email the professor, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll email her too, so it feels like really like, oh yeah, all of us need it. So we really back each other up, which is super awesome.
No lie, I think some of my closest and best friends actually came from farm school.
Really?
From from grad school, man. Dude,
awesome.
like, so when my dad actually passed, like one of my really close homies, she went all the way from New York to Boston on a 1-day trip. She took a vacation just for my dad's thing. I was like,
Aw,
damn.
that's
So
so sweet.
it's cool to hear that you get those same experiences. And I think it's just one of those things where it's just like minds, like minds just click,
You really do, and you have to find that tribe. You really do. They're so special and valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back at everything,
Mm-hmm.
what would you like? Let's say if somebody is like really interested in nursing, they don't know if they should do it or not.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
I would say try it out, like try and get experiences at the hospital, volunteering, expose yourself to it, because you're never going to know unless you try. And granted, you're for sure not going to get, the nursing type of experience that you want because you're not going to be able to do anything. But it would be really cool to, shadow a nurse, ask them questions,
Yeah. What kind of things did you kind of discover after going through all this sort of stuff? What unexpected things did you discover, like on this journey of nursing?
Of nursing, not my life journey,
No,
but my
no.
nursing journey.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Unexpected. To be honest, remember how I told you that I really didn't want to go into nursing at the end of my college career?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. I realize it is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool to, because, when you look at nursing, I think society looks at nurses as like, oh, yeah, you work in the hospital, you work with patients all day long. And that's just this idea, this compartmentalized idea that people have of nursing.
Hmm.
But what's cool about it that not a lot of people know, like we talked about, similar to pharmacy, is that you can do so many things with it. And
Yeah.
I think it suits my personality really well, because I love caring for people. I'm a really emotional person. And, you get to do just that with
Yeah.
nursing, like with your patients that you see daily. And then, yeah. And the possibility of like growth and learning, I think is awesome, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your journey, like how you're saying, like you kind of like didn't really want to do nursing. That's actually a great example of how, like, I don't know. I'm not sure if you would call it passion or something, but even when you're in the fire, you can find something to love about like any sort of profession or no matter what you do. So you really can't go wrong.
Absolutely.
And I think it's also cool, like if you didn't like nursing at the end, like for me, like I realized that I didn't want to do pharmacy
Mhm.
forever.
Right.
It's okay. You know,
That's
it's like we can always make that change in life. Just like how you took the leap of faith to go grad school. Dude, we can always do that with any other career and stuff.
Yeah. And you know what the cool thing is, though?
What's the cool thing?
Is that it finances your fun, your hobbies. Like, everyone's like, sometimes I have like younger students who say, like, oh, but I don't really want to do that. Or I don't,
Mhm.
I say, and now I completely understand what our parents are saying. Get a stable job so that you can, provide for yourself so that you can do other things with it, So kind of like what you're doing, Well, I mean, you're doing something a little different, but
Yeah.
but like for me, nursing has really helped me to gain, like, because now like I'm living on my own, like I don't ask for money from my parents, but I have this other time, this money that I can, focus on the blog.
Yeah.
It allows you to do that and have fun.
Yeah. That's a great point too, because I think about, well, you're talking about my journey, and honestly, I wouldn't have been out here if it wasn't for pharmacy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to die and live in Boston, and I never thought I would meet any YouTubers, meet any of that. And
That's true.
like years later, I'm like creating YouTube videos almost every single week and doing all this really cool stuff. And so you just never know like where your path might take you. So whether it's like nursing or anything like that, like things can always change. And I think I think it's important to just be open about it,
Absolutely. You summed it up real well.
On this, in this case. So if you guys want to follow ATL, I'll throw her IG, and if you want to follow her on her website, what's your website? Plug it.
Simply beautiful.org. So it's like simply and then BE like YOU like youtiful.org.
So tell me what your blog is about really quick.
It's about helping women to feel beautiful from the inside out.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
And if you sign up for our emailing list,
you get a free workbook that has 5 tips to help you feel beautiful instantly.
Well, if ATL is going to plug in shit, I'm going to plug in my refugee hustle stuff. So make sure to sign up for my emailing list. Make sure to hit subscribe and like this video because I want ATL to blow up. I want to blow up. So I don't have to eat massive shit in my life. So
Aww.
Just kidding. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys like this video. And if you got any questions, feel free to shoot them below. And I don't know, maybe we'll do a part 2 Skype or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, since you are moving. So
yeah,
depending.
It depends.
Really?
Yeah. So Juan and I were like, oh, well, it depends on where I get a job.
Dude, stay in SoCal, man. Stay in SoCal. You can't, dude, this beautiful sun.
Here he is laughing in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like literally like
right
over
here.
there.
Right here. Come say hi, baby. Come say hi.
It's like, oh no. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Peace.
You should have come in, baby. Why not?